Hi. Hello. Why bother meditating? What's the role of meditation and one's practice in your life or in any life? Why do people meditate? To take themselves out of a normal process as is defined in our society. Search for a means of educating ourselves outside of the traditional educational institutions. And why every day? Because we need to be reminded. It is easy in this hubbub of interrelationships, especially in the 21st century, to be taken down into an alleyway or a rabbit hole where your mind becomes so channeled that you forget everything else, when indeed there is a whole universe that is occurring simultaneously. If we can be a little bit more aware, our perception is greatly expanded. That's why practice is important. That's why people come to meditate and be mindful. Finding a comfortable posture, undisturbed, are means to an end, to help one begin to acquire a certain level of sensitivity and calm, a growing equanimity, a growing ease in one's physical body. If you have a nice posture, right? If you don't, you move around, realizing everything is changing. So you're changing too. You're adaptable. You're flexible. This is mankind. This is one of our many advantages, is that we are flexible. We can survive in many different conditions and environments, and we do. Our search is to create an environment of self-improvement. In a sense, a garden where we can plant seeds of change in ourselves. And it works. Doing it yourself for 2 weeks, every day, you will see a difference. You will know a difference. And then it is up to you. Do you want to keep changing and improving? Or do you want to settle back proverbially in your chair? And it will change. It will keep changing. But most likely you will begin to lose. You will forget. You won't remember. Your sensitivity will decline. I'm sorry. It is not one's fault in particular. It is our society's fault for not stimulating us in higher spiritual traditions, in greater physical awareness, even our religious spiritual traditions, as we know them, oftentimes, just like our government, want to lead us in everything and tell us what is right or wrong. To some degree, maybe this is good. And yet, to some degree, isn't it nice to have a sense of self-determination, a sense of self-direction for you, for the unique individual, the unique spirit, the unique soul that you represent, the bundle of miracles that's 1 billion years old. Being alive, being aware, coming to one's senses, remembering the 5 W's and 1 H. What, when, where, why, who, and how. Of the subject matter. Who's the subject matter? We are. Remembering. 1% of your day is only 14 minutes. 1%. If you spend 14 minutes a day in a formal meditation, as this is, then you have made an investment in yourself. But it is not only in yourself you are investing. You're investing in your family. You're investing in the world because as you travel from one place to another, even over a phone, where you don't have to physically travel, but your voice is traveling, there is an effect. There is a cause and there is an effect. Even unspoken, even just seen. If you're walking by someone, do they smile or frown? How does that affect you? Yes. You see, before we can dwell happily in our 21st century world, we need to dwell happily within ourselves. This is mindfulness and meditation. It is not without the trials and tribulations of being alive and aware in the 21st century. It is in seeking answers, being aware that there are possibilities, opportunities for us to ameliorate our current circumstances and make positive change. We've learned this much. We're this aware, as we are of many, many things today, more so than 100 years ago. So here we are. If your mind is beset by 1,000 different influences or distractions, as they are called, or dualities, as some people speak of, what can we do? We can focus our attention. This is meditation, right? Mindfulness. We can focus our attention. And we can do so in a way that will help us further build a sense of calm, equanimity, through the acquisition of a step-by-step approach. This is what we're doing. We find a comfortable posture. We locate ourselves in such a way as we're undisturbed. And we begin to build a sense of attention and energy in particular directions. An easy direction that all of us share is our physicality. So, what better than to use than this? We all breathe. So, following one's breathing. And of course, as you know, if you've listened to any of the other podcasts I've made, that this is a subject I often speak about, as well as have thousands and thousands and millions of others. It's a commonality that we have. But how are you considering this? Someone says, follow your breath. What does this mean? With what level of consideration are we investigating our breathing practice? As wide a perspective as possible, by asking the 5 W's and 1 H of it, by considering everything that you can about your breath. And in so making this analysis of focusing one's attention, of utilizing one's energy, you are coming closer into contact with the foundations of your own life, the foundations of mankind, of Homo sapien. That's what you're doing. You're not thinking about your car payment. You're not thinking about an appointment. You're thinking about the foundation of life itself. It's powerful. Doing this, realizing the intimacy and the importance of one's own breath, becoming your breath's best friend, acquiring a day-to-day relationship with being aware of your breathing and learning how to affect it. Not necessarily control it, but use it as part of your team, as your life team. I'm getting nervous. What do? Relax. Breathe long and slow. I need extra energy. I'm going to go jogging. Speed up. Give your body, your muscular system, more energy, more oxygen to consume. Being aware. Utilizing one's breath, not only as a friend, not only because you need to be alive, but because you're using it as a tool. And this applies to one's pulse, and this applies to one's dynamic, vibrational, ecstatic, shimmering, glowing being just as well, just as valuable of a tool. So you have 3 tools that you can use if you remember, if you initiate the effort to become aware, to wake up, to begin to rise, to begin to be more perspective in your being. And that's what we want. You know, a little story, we have what? How many eyes do we have? Usually 2, right? If we're lucky. And they're in pretty good working order, if we're lucky. But you have 2 eyes. But when you look around you, what do you see? You see one image, right? Because your eyes are what? Coordinating the image between the 2 of them? What happens if you have an astigmatism or you have myopsy or whatever the word is? What's going on? Is it your eye muscles? That's what doctors so often say. But seldom do I hear them say, or never, that it may be your brain. In the way that your brain is perceiving and sharing between the 2 images. If the images are overlaid one on top of the other, then it is crystal clear, sharp, clean. But what happens if your 2 upper brains, your upper lobes in your brains, your cerebrums, left and right frontal lobes? What happens if they're just a little off for whatever reason? Well, this is what I mean by perception. Or your ears. You have 2 sounds going into one side, you have one sound, and the other. But again, you hear one sound. But it's your eyes where really you can see the difference. You can separate your eyesight. Are your eyes seeing equally well? Is one more sharp than the other? Anyway, just saying hello. Have a wonderful day. Shine in your heart. Why not? Shine. Shine in a smile inside and out. Be kind. Be purposeful. Yes, inside of yourself. And let it shine wherever you go. Throwing seeds, planting seeds of kindness and understanding and virtue everywhere. Keep a pocket full every day. That's what we're doing when we're meditating and being mindful. We're reloading our seeds. Enjoy. God bless.